We talk about consultants, and I know you probably think they get a bit too much headline space.
I think they deserve, or they warrant, it's probably the better word, space for going in and saying to a client, you're spending too much money, we'll help you save less money and we'll take a percentage. But we just hired the head of Accenture Digital in Europe. He had 1,000 consultants working for him or being available to him. And I think he and others confirm that it's pretty much a cost-based argument, and out of that flow, what they say to you as the client, if you were the client CEO, is we'll save you a percentage of the savings and we'll take a percentage of that. So you're not going to say no. If somebody came along to us and said they'd do that, I wouldn't say no. But it's not head-to-head on digital yet. I mean, the three monkeys, you can buy the three monkeys. Whether you can integrate the three monkeys into anything meaningful is another question. Karmarama in Europe, and we haven't seen anything. I mean, the two examples that get thrown out in a Forrester report I was reading was Maserati. Well, we took a large piece of business akin to Maserati, I mean significant numbers. It was the biggest actual digital assignment. We went head-to-head against Accenture. We took that. They were out in the first round. Came down to a contest between ourselves and Publicis in the end. So I see them competing at, as I say, at the cost level, and then they get in a terribly conflicted position, because here they are sort of up here saying, well, this is what you should reduce in terms of cost, and then they sort of say, well, we can be part of the solution too. So, of course they would recommend their own cooking. We'll see. I think we have to see how it shakes out. I don't think on the head-to-head yet they've made considerable progress. I think where they have made progress is on the cost side.
What are the challenges as a global CEO of WPP? How's your job?
I think implementing the change at the right pace. You can be, it's a bit like Goldilocks. The porridge can be too hot or too cold. It's a question of, doing it and it's very difficult. Actually, it's probably easier when things are tough. You create, in a way, burning platforms. And it's probably easier when you're going through difficult times than you are going through good times. In good times, you have the luxury, 3% or 3% plus net sales growth can cover a multitude of sins. And with a rising tide, all boats rise. So I think in these particular conditions, it's interesting because it's probably easier to get the change. People understand it more. They're less prone to say, look, everything's going wonderfully, why tinker with it? Now, it's tough, and you have to tinker with it. More than tinker, you have to change things. It's become more exciting because if you look at the changes that Google and Facebook in particular have brought with them, for good or bad, it has changed all the dynamics. It's made us a more interesting industry, I think, for younger people by virtue of the fact that technology has become such an important part of it. And, clearly, before the competition was, say, consulting or investment banking, I think those professions or areas have not diminished, but they've with the rise of the Silicon Valley giants, and indeed the Asian giants, the Chinese giants, Tencent and Alibaba, the seven sisters as I call them, I think we're more akin to that actually, and that's given us a relative advantage, or certainly put us in the consideration set. Whether people accept that there's significant opportunities or not is up to us. We've always been an industry that hasn't particularly trained well, developed programs, hence the WPP Fellowship Program, the Atticus Awards and everything else that we do, is try and encourage people to look at the industry in a different way.